So when you talk about, someone who's afraid to list because they got no place to go, are you seeing that the flexibility, and when we were talking off camera, you mentioned that maybe we'll do a 60-day close, and then you mentioned a seller rent back. How does a seller rent back work?
Right. I mean, there's a lot of options. I mean, the buyer's really they're frustrated. They can't buy anything. So they're really bending over backwards to try and get a property under contract. And so they're really listening to the sellers about what they need. There's a lot of different ways that we can extend when the sellers leave the property. But at the same time, we got to find them a property, because if we don't find them one, it's going to be really tough for them to move out, So, creating some inventory and trying to find some motivated people that don't have their house listed in the MLS right now to develop some inventory is important. I mean, a lot of times if you want land, you might have to buy a house and subdivide off a piece. You might take a duplex and turn it into 2 different units and sell each unit separately, or whatever you can do to
Actually make them condos and sell them individually.
Yeah.
So right now, if this was a time and they're thinking about selling and they're a little scared, is this a good time to list your house? I mean, you said inventory is low, so I would like to think that this would be a great time, but if nobody's moving, is it the right time?
It's tough. I mean, I'm still buying and selling, so obviously I think it's a good time. I mean, they always say, when's the best time to buy? And it was, 2 best times are 20 years ago and today.
Right.
Because if you look at it historically, I don't see the prices going down.
Right.
So why don't you stop paying in and stop watching it go up and get in and start paying down that principal? So I think, anytime's a good time to buy, and it's a lifestyle choice. If the kids need a place to go, or if you need to downsize or upsize, definitely, you just got to find the right deal. And that's the real hard part.
That's the hard part. And then if it needs too much work, it could price them out if they don't have the capital.
Which is tough, because a lot of people don't know pricing when it comes to fixing houses. And when you work with a contractor or agent that's a contractor, and they bring you into their system of people that they work with, you might not be paying full retail for the remodel project. A lot of times if you get a burst pipe at your house and you're paying that emergency plumber rate, that's a little different than if we schedule the work out and the plumber's got it on the schedule, So you save a ton of money there, and people can figure out how much the total project's going to cost, and you can come up with a rehab budget,
Do it on their own time frame versus an emergency.